In this video, we'll be understanding the use of active and passive voice in grammar. So let's begin. Beginning with active voice. What is active voice? Active voice is a voice that is used to show the subject of the sentence is performing or causing the action. For example, LeBron threw the basketball. This sentence shows that LeBron, which is the subject, is performing the action through the basketball. Usually in the active voice, you will find the subject comes first and the verb comes second. The passive voice, on the other hand, is somewhat like the opposite of the active voice. The passive voice is used when the subject is the receiver of the action. For example, the ball was thrown by LeBron. Usually in the passive voice, the verb comes first and the subject comes second. Active voice is usually more direct and concise since it shows that the subject is directly performing the action. Passive voice is usually more wordier. It doesn't really clarify that this subject has performed this action. For example, active voice is like watching LeBron play. Passive voice is like watching gum stuck on the bleachers in the stands. So this is why most of the time you would want to use an active voice. When would you want to use a passive voice? You would want to use a passive voice when you're purposely or intentionally trying to hide the subject of the sentence. For example, a politician might say, "The mistake was made by someone." Here he's hiding the subject that will help him or her hide the blame. So you're not clear who made the mistake, but you know that the mistake was made by someone. There is a subject and verb, but you do not know the identity of the subject. Forms of passive voice verbs. The passive voice requires a double verb and will always consist of a form of the verb to be and the past participle, which is usually the en, ed, or t form of another verb. For example, the active voice is John baked the bread. The passive of this sentence would be the bread was baked by John. Was baked is the verb here, helping verb and main verb, and was is a form of the verb to be. Now we're going to go through two practice slides. In this slide, I need you to label the following sentences active or passive. You can pause the video here and take your time. After you have finished that, coming to the next practice, you need to change the sentences below to the active voice. So all these sentences here are written in passive voice and you need to change them into active voice. I will solve one with you guys. Number 2, my books were stolen by someone yesterday. The verb is first, the subject is second, the subject is not clarified, it's in a passive voice. The active voice of the sentence would be, someone stole my book yesterday. Now pause the video and solve the remaining questions.